de défense et de sécurité.
Ignore the usual combat uniforms and the hastily arranged announcement. These military leaders in Gabon say they're seizing power in the name of peace.
Au nom du peuple gabonais.
On behalf of the people of Gabon and as guarantor of the protection of our institutions, we have decided to defend peace by putting an end to the current regime.
And its end has been loudly welcomed on the streets. Some carried the flag of Gabon, others a palm branch, a symbol of victory and triumph. Because they believe that this is the potential end of a ruling dynasty that's lasted more than half a century.
Our country is free. Our country is free. Long live Gabon's freedom.
This coup came just hours after it was announced that President Ali Bongo had been re-elected for a third time. He's been in power since 2009, having taken over from his father. While Bongo was declared the winner, the election was disputed. International observers were banned, as well as foreign media, and the internet was shut down.
The Bongo family has been in power since 1967. That's over 5 decades of political rule. They have held elections and they have secured victory, but that's not a reflection of public support. It has been more so a reflection of deeply sort of entrenched control over state institutions and corruption.
And so, as the people applauded, the security forces declared those results void and closed the borders. They also announced that President Bongo was under house arrest. Soon after, a clearly diminished and desperate man called on the world for help.
I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world, to tell them to make noise.
The friend he will be looking to the most is France, the former colonial power. Since 1967, first his father, Omar, and then he have paid regular visits to the Élysée Palace. France and the Bongo family have both profited from the country's resources, most notably Gabon's vast amount of oil. Yet those riches have never been felt by its people. More than a third live below the poverty line. There were protests after Bongo's election in 2009 and 2016. Both times the opposition was crushed. But now it's different, not just because a stroke in 2018 left Bongo a weakened ruler, but also partly because French power in the region has been diminishing. This latest coup in Gabon comes after a wave of them in other former French colonies in Africa. Most recently in July, Niger's presidential guard took control of the country. Before that, in January last year, Burkina Faso's army ousted their president. And in 2021, there were 3 coups in Guinea, Chad and Mali. The French government condemned the coup and said the election result should be upheld. That message won't resonate with those on the streets. But unlike other coups in the region, this isn't driven by anti-French sentiment, but decades of frustration at the ruling dynasty. Bongo's reign is over, they cry. Any hope for change will depend on who steps into his shoes. That looks to be this man, General Brice Oligui Nguema, who was just announced as the leader of Gabon's new transitional government. The people hope that that new order will work for them. But the fear is that far too often, this euphoria can give way to malaise and the same as before.